Like this shot.
He should sit.
Mm.
So let's get him set.
Sorry, Monica.
That looks good. It looks really good.
Yeah.
I mean, the only thing.
It's kind
Do you have any room to get closer to the computer slightly?
Sure.
But still kind of look this way towards the camera.
I can move that.
Is that better? Oh, that
yeah,
looks good. You want to be in the back?
Oh, right
behind
here's
me?
good.
Okay, cool. That's
Nice.
perfect. Because then you can just talk to me. You don't have to talk to the kid lens, or you either way.
Did you get my good side?
It looks good and good lighting. You know, you've got if you want the glasses or not. You know.
Oh yeah,
that's what always messes me up.
Yeah,
it's
the glare and everything.
I have my sunglasses or whatever. Okay, so just tell us we're rolling.
Mm-hmm.
So just for our records, your name and your position.
Nick Flor. So I'm an associate professor. Oh, I'm supposed to be looking at you.
It doesn't matter. For this part, we won't.
Okay. Yeah, I'm Nick Flor, associate professor of management at the Anderson School of Management, and I guess both Andrea and I are part of the visualization team for SEPTET. And so I see Andrea doing more of the artistic visualization, and I'm doing, I don't know, the virtual world visualization.
Tell us about some of the projects that you've done so far for the SEPTET, because they've been really fascinating.
Oh yeah, so the main one is this virtual neighborhood. So the idea is that in the neighborhood are these houses that run on virtual solar power, run on virtual wind power. And what's interesting, or the unique twist we're trying to add to this in terms of a virtual environment, is we're taking data from P&M solar farm, from their wind farms, and actually we can take data from any solar or wind farm and pipe it into this virtual world. So they can either manage their electricity using actual data or with data that we randomly generate. So I guess the unique twist is there's sort of this, nowadays the big thing is augmented reality, and we're kind of doing the reverse. We're doing reality augmented virtual environments.
Nice.
So we're taking the virtual environments and augmenting them with real data.
And how are you getting this data? Does PNM make it publicly available, or is it something through the project? Or?
Yeah, only through the project. So I talked with managers at PNM, and they gave me a login account, and they have servers that broadcast this data regularly. But yeah, you need an account first, and then you can pull the data off of their servers.
And that you use that in a form of an RSS feed, or what?
Right now, it's just a raw number feed. So
wow.
We have to parse that raw number feed. We haven't actually gotten to that point yet, but we have the account information. We can log into the servers and pull the data off. But yeah, that hasn't happened yet.
You talked about also a way that then how the reality is coming into the virtual world, but I remember in a meeting you were talking about also going the opposite way there, what you do in the virtual world might affect.
Oh, right. So another project that we've only now started is having mobile devices control. So if you have a solar house and you want to automate it, so we're trying to build these apps that allow you to, and they already exist right now, but they allow you to schedule when appliances will go on and off. So that's one part. But we also have it set up so that you can point your phone at a device and look at, its wattage, so how much energy it's consuming. Or if you've programmed a schedule for that device, you can just point your phone. And that is augmented reality, and look at what the schedule is for that device. So that's more traditional augmented reality.
And what is your interest in this particular project? Why did you want to be involved?
I'm very interested in sustainable energy. I feel that we're going to run out of fossil fuel very soon. And I don't think the government really lets on to how soon we're going to run out. By our calculation, it's 25 years if we go with current consumption rates for oil, and I guess with natural gas it's a little bit longer. But 25 to 50 years is all we have left of fossil fuel in the United States. So I think it's really important that we switch to something alternative as soon as possible.
And you presented some research that dealt with how people were perceiving the different types of energy?
Right. People realize that there is a crisis. They don't know how far in the future this crisis will hit us. So they know we're running out of fossil fuel, and everyone believes we should do something. But according to our surveys, they have no clue how soon we're going to run out of energy. But people are, the surveys we did showed that people are willing to switch to renewable and sustainable energy sources if the cost benefits work out. And that's another thing they're not clear about. You know, if we switch, how much is it going to cost to put solar panels on our house? They don't know. And they don't know what the benefits are. They don't know things like you can sell your energy back to the electric company. So they don't know all the ways of making money through this renewable energy, or what the cost trade-offs are, or what the opportunity costs are. So there's a lot they don't know. But everyone's willing, a majority is willing to switch to the sustainable technology or sustainable energies.
Cool. I want to ask you about how these kinds of media tools can change people's behavior and why that's important. But before that, I want to ask you, can you say something specific about the survey, like how you did it and what it was? And
oh, sure.
Yeah.
It was part of a digital marketing class, and we were participating in a case competition and with other schools. So we're supposed to promote sustainable energy versus fossil fuel. And so we did a survey. It was 200 high school or K through 12 teachers, and the survey had, I think, 35 questions, and I think that was it. We hit at least two people from every state, or two teachers from every state. And yeah, so it was a national survey. So I think we had a good sampling of the teachers across the country. I think the only problem is we didn't, even though we had, I think it was over 200 respondents, that still is not statistically valid. So that's why we haven't published those results. But at least they give us some idea of how teachers are feeling about renewable and sustainable energy.
Wow, so the not knowing, that wasn't just a general public, that was actually teachers.
Yeah, actually
wow.
you're right, it
wow.
is.
So what is it that's important about using these kinds of media and these virtual worlds to give people information and raise awareness? What is it that you feel is effective about this or important about this?
Yeah, I think probably the biggest benefit is that solar energy is, one is, let's say you did want to put solar panels on your house. It's too expensive. It's tens of thousands of dollars to put it on your roof. And people are unwilling to take that risk of installing those panels. But in a virtual world, you know, it's easy to say, okay, I'll throw solar panels on my house and see how much money I save, you know, with these solar panels. So one benefit, I think, is that probably the main benefit is you can experiment, as a consumer, you can experiment with these technologies without having to bear the costs. And the second benefit I see is, especially with a project like ours where we're trying to build this energy harvester and it doesn't exist yet, we can pretend it exists as long as we know the functional characteristics, how much wattage it puts out. So we can pretend it exists, and then we can experiment with it in the virtual world. So
that's fantastic. Wow. So what did I can you give an example of other ways in which people have popularly used these simulations as consumers to kind of direct their purchases? I was thinking of like you know, you go online and I don't know how popular they are, but like you can put the clothes on like your body.
Oh
or
yeah,
something.
the augmented reality.
Yeah, but I mean, and I guess you could say that some of these big, massively multiplayer games have become economies in themselves.
Yeah, and people have studied these economies and things like cheating and trading in these virtual worlds. And yeah, but see, I haven't kept up to date with that research. But yeah, like with the clothing, I know that HP has, Hewlett Packard has a system, and they work with Microsoft so that you can try on different clothes, and using the Kinect actually to project the clothes over your body. So Microsoft has done that with HP, and yeah, I know people have studied. It has to do with gold and like World of Warcraft, and it's just how the monetary systems work, and aggression. I know people have studied aggression and their identity studies in virtual worlds.
Sure, because they use the virtual worlds for like PTSD treatments and stuff.
But yeah, and there's a whole serious games that the folks at Sandia study. So they they develop these Army military simulations, and they have soldiers go into, say, a virtual Iraq and try out different scenarios.
I wonder if you want, and I don't know if you want to say something about this, but it seems like there's a convergence, and I apologize if I'm oversimplifying this, between like the virtual world and economies. Like everything is kind of virtual. I mean, I guess it's always been, but I wonder if you want to say something about that, because that might be an interesting tie-in between consumer, virtual.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good point. Everything